Have you ever felt like your own brain was actively trying to destroy you? Like you are a hostage trapped inside your own head, spiraling into a mess of worry, stress, and what-ifs? If so, you aren't alone. In fact, in 1869, a 27-year-old man who had just graduated from Harvard Medical School was going through a crisis of meaning so severe, he spent months contemplating suicide. He suffered from panic attacks and hallucinations, convinced that his mental agony was biological and completely inescapable. That young man was William James. He would later go on to become the leading psychologist in America and one of the founders of an entire philosophical school called pragmatism. But he didn't cure his depression with medicine. He cured it with a sudden, radical realization about his own mind. Reading a philosophical essay one day, he had a breakthrough and wrote in his journal, "My first act of free will shall be to believe in free will." He realized that while we cannot control the thousands of random thoughts that flow into our consciousness, we absolutely have the ability to choose which thoughts we focus on. Welcome to today's episode. Today, we are diving deep into the architecture of mental clarity, drawing heavily on the transformative insights of Darius Foroux and his book, Think Straight. If you want to stop overthinking, regain control of your life, and finally find some peace in your own head, you are in the right place. Let's start with a modern reality check. We are born with the most miraculous, awe-inspiring information processing tool in the known universe, the human brain. But we are never given an instruction manual on how to use it. Instead, we let our minds run us. We become slaves to our thoughts. Take Darius Foroux, for example. For most of his life, his mind was pure chaos, a messy mix of positive, negative, sad, and confusing thoughts. In 2014, he moved from a quiet town in the Netherlands to London, a massive city of 7 million people. He spent 2 months finding an apartment, canceled his old lease, packed his entire life into an SUV, and even brought his family over from Holland to help. Then, the day before the move, his new landlady changed her mind. She canceled. Suddenly, he was homeless in a foreign country, sitting in a hotel room with his family, panicking. He spent the entire day and night blaming himself, overthinking, imagining the worst. It was a first-world problem, but the suffering felt completely real. But here's where things get interesting. The next morning, Darius realized something profound. All of his worrying, stressing, self-blame was completely useless. It didn't fix anything. It didn't change reality. So he made a decision to think straight. He pushed aside the chaos and focused on one thing, finding a solution. Within a day, he booked an Airbnb. A week later, the landlady changed her mind again, and he moved in. This brings us to our first powerful idea, the pragmatism filter. William James believed in one simple rule: the true is what works. If a thought does not serve a useful purpose, it is useless. Think about what keeps you up at night. What does my boss think of me? What if I lose my job? Why is my life so hard while everyone else looks happy? Now ask yourself, what is the practical use of these thoughts? There isn't one. They don't solve problems. They create suffering. So start treating your mind like a filter. Let thoughts come, but don't let useless ones stay. And this is where most people go wrong. We spend most of our time thinking about things we cannot control. The past is gone. The future doesn't exist yet. If you want clarity, focus only on what you can control: your actions, your words, your choices. Let me give you a painful example. Darius once made a mistake that cost him $150,000. He was working with 2 clients, both named Vim. One was loyal, so he offered a discount. The other was new, paying full price. But due to a small mistake, he sent the discounted contract to the wrong client. The deal collapsed. Now, he could have spent months asking, why did I do that? Why am I so careless? But instead, he focused on the lesson. Double-check everything. Don't ignore details. Move forward. This leads to another powerful truth. Look at facts, not assumptions. We think we are logical, but we are not. We are driven by biases, emotions, habits. We assume things that aren't even real. Familiarity keeps us stuck. Same habits, same choices, same mistakes. And then we wonder why life doesn't change. Life is not linear. We believe A leads to B and B leads to C. But reality doesn't work like that. Nothing is guaranteed. Success requires action, not assumptions. When Darius wanted to invest in real estate, he didn't follow the obvious path. He didn't go to expensive cities. He looked differently. He found opportunity where others didn't. And he succeeded. Stop limiting yourself with either or thinking. You don't have to choose one path. You can build your own. But here's the truth. Knowledge means nothing without action. So how do you stop overthinking? You replace thinking with systems. If you want to get fit, don't think every day. Don't negotiate. Create a system. Exercise daily. Eat healthy. Track it. Done. No overthinking. Because the real goal is not just productivity. It's peace. True mastery is controlling your mind, not letting it control you. And you don't need anything fancy to achieve that. Just awareness. I want to leave you with something deeper, a story. Darius was very close to his grandmother. She sacrificed everything for her family. But in her final years, she lived in regret. She cried often, thinking about the past, missing the present. And from her, he learned one powerful truth. You don't regret what you did. You regret what you didn't do. Most people live in their head, not in their life. Did you notice the sunlight today? Did you feel the moment? Or were you lost in thought? Life is happening now, not in your mind. Your mind is a tool. Use it, but don't live inside it. Stop overthinking. Choose better thoughts. Take action and live your life. Thank you for listening. Until next time, keep your mind clear and think straight.